everyone, welcome back to the online lectures of the Material Science and Metallurgy. Myself Vivek Parikh, Assistant Professor at LG Institutes of Engineering and Technology. So now in today's lecture we will be starting with our unit number 1, that is known as an Introduction to the Material Science and Metallurgy. So we will be starting with our content, that is the first one of the Introduction to Material Science and Metallurgy. Now, before going into the details of this particular chapter, we will be seeing certain definitions of the thing. That is the first one. You will be coming across the term that is known as an what do you mean by a material? So material, that is nothing but it is the raw thing from which any of the product is made. So you can say the matter from which the things are manufactured, that is known as a material. So our very first word that comes in our topic's name, or you can say the subject's name, that is the material. So it is nothing but the matter from which the things are made up of. Now the second one, that is known as in the second letter, that is the metallurgy. What do you mean by a metallurgy? So now this metallurgy means it is nothing but it is the art and science of extracting the minerals from the respective ore and making it applicable to its final product. So from the earth crust, how to refine it and how to extract it from it, that comes under the metallurgy. So this is the basic definitions of your whole subject name, that is the material science and metallurgy. So now we will be seeing what is there in the metallurgical thing. So we are knowing about the metallurgical process. So the next one that we will be seeing, that is your metallurgy. So what does come under includes inside your metallurgy? The very first one, the first step, that is the extracting the metals from their respective ores. So the main category of the metallurgy, that is to extract the metal from their respective ore. The second one, refining it into its pure form, means whatever the thing we are taking out from the ore, it is in the impure form. Our main motto of the metallurgy, that is to refine it. The third one, that is the production of an alloy. Now what do you mean by an alloy? Alloy means nothing but the combination of the two metals. So how to make this particular alloy, that also comes under the metallurgy. And then next one, that is the study and establishment of the physical and mechanical properties and the thermal and all the properties of the correlation thing. So due to which we will be able to know that where a material can be used for its proper application. And the last one, the major use of the metallurgy, that is the study of the metals structure, constituents and the properties. So in this way metallurgy plays a very much important role in our life. So now moving forward for the next one, what will be it? That is what is the importance of these materials in the engineering purpose. So why we are going for the study of this thing. So for that particular thing we will be going, as we are told that this particular material science, it is coming from the very past things, because many of the past ages have also been defined as the name of the particular metals, such as the bronze ages was there, iron age, copper age. So in this way what we can say, we can do this thing that it is having an importance from the earlier ages. So it is the aspect of the engineering's design and analysis, because by the analysis and the designing of the material we can use that material into many of the different products. So because of this thing there is a wide variety of the properties and the many different engineering materials has been established with the help of it. So from a very minute material, that is from the household material towards the aerospace industry to the big thing, we are using the material in our day-to-day life also. So we will be seeing the advancement of this thing, how it has changed the world. That means the first one what we will be seeing, that is the how the thing in the early days we will be using the bullock carts and all for the moving thing, for the persons also and for the cargo purpose also. For moving from one place to another we were using the bullock carts and all, but nowadays we are using the aeroplanes for the transportation purpose. In the same way, if we go for the architecture or the civil engineering branch, the earlier days the houses were made up of the bricks and the clays, but nowadays we can see the Burj Khalifa and all skyscrapers has been made up of. This thing has been possible because of the advancement of the material which is taking place. So now the third one, that is the people used to write or communicate with other people living far away from each other with the help of the postcard. But nowadays it is easier for them because of the mobile thing. They can also by the one click they can talk with each other, or they can view or video themselves with the other things. So in this way, due to the advancement of the material, we can say that our life has also become an easier. And in this way, I have shown you the some of the examples of the material science. That means it is not only appropriate for the mechanical and automobile, but it is going towards each and every engineering department, because none of the engineering is fulfilled without the help of the material science. You go in any of the branch, material science is the major requirement, or you can say it is the most important part of it. So now moving forward for this thing, so up to this, what was the importance we have seen? So now some of the applications we will be seeing of the material, that where we are using this type of the material, the rubber tires for the rubber products, the products which are made up from the clay. Then the next one, that will be the aerospace industries. They are also using a many vast varieties of the products, and we can see that there is the thing, that is the plastic materials are also. These all are the typical examples of the material. That means whatever the product you are using, the raw material, they are the types of the material. So material is everywhere. Whatever you see around us, that is always made up of the material thing. So now moving forward for the next topic, the topic that is covered, that is known as a classification of the material. So now next one, that is the classification of the material. Material has been classified into three parts. Now how does this material classified? The first part, that is known as a metal. The first part, that is known as a metal, we are aware about this metal. The second classification has been done in the form of the ceramics. And the third one, we will be going for the third part, that is known as a polymer. So material has been defined in the three types. The first one, that is the metal. Second one, that is known as a ceramic. And the third one, that is known as a polymer. Now the fourth one, that is the composite. It is a unique portion of the material classification. That all these things we will be studying it in our further lectures. That means in this lecture only we will be covering up this topic. So now moving forward for the very first topic, or the very first classification, that is known as a metal. So now what do you mean by a metal? The very first question which arises, that is known as, what do you mean by a metal? Metal is a thing which have a tendency to always lose the electrons. So metal is defined as a part or an atom which always loses the electron and becomes the cation. So that is known as a metal. You will never see the metal which is gaining the electrons. There are many types of the metal. Ferrous and non-ferrous metals are there. Ferrous metals are those in which iron content is there, whereas non-ferrous are those in which no Fe is included in it. So in this way, there are different types of the metals which are there. As shown in the figure, you can see the aluminium and the iron part is shown in your figure. Now the next one, we're moving forward, that metal. Which are the different properties of the metal? Metal, they are ductile. That means wires can be formed. They are malleable. They are good conductor of heat and electricity. Metals are strong enough, and they do have a lustrous surface. Now ductility, malleability and lustrous surface, they are the three typical properties of your metal. So now, which are the examples? Example, you can see that it is the aluminium, iron, gold, silver, copper, tin, each and every metal, they are widely used. So you will all be aware about these examples of the metals. Now where they are used, some of the typical examples, or you can say applications of the metal which we will be seeing, that is the first one, you can see that is the bridge. In the construction of the bridge, it is always metals are used for its construction. Second comes the car. That means in a car product, we can say that the car are manufactured with the help of the many different types of the parts of the metal. And the third one, that is the machinery. In machinery parts also, each and every time metal is to be used. So in this type of the applications, we are using the metal. So now moving forward for the next classification, that is known as a ceramic part. What do you mean by a ceramic? Ceramic is a nothing but it is the thing in which it is the combination of metal metal and non-metal. Non-metal, majorly oxides are used. So the metals oxide, they are nothing but one type of the ceramic. Now, where ceramics or which are the types of the ceramic, you can see the glass products and the clay products, they are the class of the ceramic only. So now let us see which are the properties of the ceramic material. So the different types of the properties of the ceramics, they have hardness and stiffness. They have very high hardness and stiffness, whereas ceramic have a lustrous surface. Ceramics are a bad conductor of heat and electricity, and the main part, that is the ceramic, they are the brittle material. This is the major property of the ceramic, that they are brittle in nature. But the lustrous surface, it is the thing why they are used in many of the applications. So now let us go for the examples of the ceramic. They are the sand, glass, abrasive, refractories. These are the different examples of your ceramic. So now where these ceramics are used? So the different applications of the ceramics are there. They are the glass product. The first one, each and every glass products are there. They are made up of the ceramic material. Then the sanitary wares. So sanitary products, the different types of the wash basins and all, they are also made up of this particular ceramic, tiles and all. And the last one, that is the clay product. The products which are made from the clay, they are also the examples of the ceramic, pot and all that stuff. So this was about your ceramic, where it is used, properties, applications and examples of the ceramic. So now moving forward for the next part, that is known as the third category, that is the polymer. What do you mean by a polymer? Polymer, it is nothing but a repetition of one of the monomer. So when one monomer is repeated n number of times, then the polymer is formed. Let us take a simple example of an ethene. You might be aware about the ethene, CH2 double bond CH2. Whenever this CH2 double bond CH2, this is the monomer, and whenever it is repeated n number of times, the product which is formed, that is known as a polyethylene. That is, they are the material used for in the bags. So now plastic, you might be knowing plastic, they are the typical examples of the polymer. Different types of the plastic, all are included inside the polymer. So now which are the properties of this polymer? So now next one, that is the properties of polymer. They have a high durability. That means the life of the material is very much large enough. They are having a high corrosion resistance. They are light in weight, and they are the bad conductor of heat and electricity. The major applications of the polymer are because of their light in weight and its durability. So now we will be going for the examples. There are many examples of the polymers because all the plastics has been included in this type of the class. So rubber, polyvinyl chloride, nylon 6, Teflon, tires, all these things, they are included inside the examples of the polymer. Now let us see the applications of the polymer, where we are using this polymer. So as discussed earlier, the applications of the polymer, they are in the plastic toys. We are using as the ropes and all. They are also made up of from the polymer. Then the rubber tires. So these are the typical examples, or you can say applications of the polymers. So now moving, as discussed earlier, the last one, that is the composite material. Now what do you mean by a composite, and why it is not included in the part? That is, why this composite is not a type of the material? Yes, it is a part of the material, but composite, it is nothing but it is the combination of more than one material. That means metal plus polymer, composite is formed. Ceramic plus polymer, composite is formed. That means if one or more material is clubbed together, then the product which is formed, that is known as a composite material. So it is one of the different class of the material. So now we will be seeing where these composites are used or which are the properties. There is no properties of the composite because according to the properties we will be mixing up the material. So properties, they are not the predefined one, but the properties are such properties which we want. In that way we will be mixing the material. So there are not a predefined properties of any of the composite. Let us take the certain examples of the composite, that is the helmet, space shuttle parts, concrete, all are there the examples of the composite. Take an example of an helmet. Helmet, they are having a strength because of the metal, and they are having a light in weight because of the polymer. So helmet, it is a mixture of both the things, that is the metal and the polymer, and this is an example of a composite thing. So this was all about your composite material. Clear? So this was about the classification of your material. And now in the upcoming lectures, we will be seeing that how the material has been selected or which are the different requirements of the material, engineering requirement, and the difference between the metal, non-metal, different properties, or you can say mechanical properties. That thing we will be discussing in our upcoming lectures. Till then, thank you.